America's #1 weather network, the Weather Channel.
New video coming into us here at the Weather Channel. Look at this hail in Pinch, West Virginia. Man, this is coming down hard. Not huge hail, but we've got enough of that hail coming down that it's stripping some of the leaves off the trees. This dog looks like he's trying to catch it in his mouth. So he's all on board, but goodness, I mean, this is filling up the lawn, looking like snow in some spots, and you can hear and see just how quickly it's coming down. There's a look at those leaf trees, Dr. Forbes. Those tree leaves often fall victim to the big hailstorms like this one.
Yeah, they really do, and we have severe thunderstorms near Charleston, West Virginia, heading southeast, as well as a tornado warning that is south of Elkins, West Virginia. Take a look here in red, a tornado warning. In yellow, a couple of storms, all of them heading southeast at about 25 miles per hour. Here's the tornado warning storm. That one is heading toward Mingo. Doppler indicated rotation, tornado warning, Randolph, Upshur, and Webster counties. That would take the storm into the Mingo area at about 8:20. The Linwood area, if it holds together, at about 8:37. Pretty well-defined rotation on this. In the reds and green couplet there, you can see definitely why the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for this particular storm. We have a couple of other tornado warning storms as well. One we've been following, sighting tornadoes from in areas south and east of North Platte, Nebraska. It's gone out of Kansas up near McCook and is heading now toward Farnham, Nebraska, Frontier County, as well as now north and east of that, Dawson County in Nebraska are tornado warned. I think you can see the well-defined hook showing up right there. So the tornado would be right inside of that, moving into the Fairview School, the Stockville area, the Farnham, the Cozad Municipal Airport type areas, and in an area that's not especially great for radar coverage at the moment, but there is the circulation south-southeast of Curtis heading toward the Farnham area. Our last tornado warning is in southwest Texas. We've been following it pretty close to I-10 for a long time. Other severe thunderstorms heading off to the areas south and east of Midland in Texas. This storm is actually a couple of storms now going south of Iran, with another one just a little bit farther south on its heels with large hail and damaging winds crossing the I-10 area southwest and then heading south of the community of Iran in Texas. Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. We've been watching a lot of action across parts of the country today, including this awesome. Now, this was just a regular tower cam that we were looking at. Then we've put it in time lapse as we are looking at that rotating wall cloud move from about the center of the screen over towards the right at times, dropping a tornado. We've seen some great pictures of that as well. But right there in the middle, you can see almost looks like the carousel. A tornado right as it gets over to the right-hand side of the screen. Watch for it. There you go. Really neat stuff across the McCook area. Always interesting to watch the evolution of this storm. That wall cloud then dropping the tornado. I want to take you also into Fort Stockton, Texas, where a tornado captured on video there. You can see that dust envelope, that debris cloud down at the surface. Obviously, the well-defined tornado right on the screen, and then the rain foot, where you can see that almost right angle, really looks like a foot. That's the heavy rain, and then that rain being pushed by the wind closer to the ground. So we've seen a lot of action across this part of Texas. It's really been the only game in town, so to speak, in terms of storms, but we've seen a lot of really picturesque stuff out of the Fort Stockton and Pecos County area in parts of Texas. Now, as we go into the rest of today and tonight, we think more thunderstorms, more severe chances remain. Tomorrow looks to be another very active day. Right now in Indianola, you can see the winds are really cranking as we continue to watch this camera here in Indianola shake across the area. Be prepared for storms, not just today and tonight, but into the weekend. Frontier County, by the way, still under the warning for that tornado that we saw earlier around McCook. That's continued into Frontier County. So we've got the warning there. There's Indianola. So where you're looking at that camera, obviously that storm off to the north. So Indianola, you're not in the threat zone anymore, but you're obviously getting a look at what's going on surrounding you well to the north. And the winds are kicking around the Indianola area. Frontier County remains under that tornado warning. Big hail possible as this storm moves through the Curtis area. This is lifting to the northeast across the areas. Des Moines, you're a spot we'll be watching early tomorrow morning. So you can see around 6 a.m. we've got some showers and thunderstorms. They'll move east during the remainder of the morning. But look at 4 o'clock Saturday, we've got rain and storms. So that means flooding, also a threat. You get those heavy rain showers along with the thunderstorms, and that could do some damage in these metro areas like Des Moines, where we've got a lot of concrete. That water pools up quickly. So think about that. I know you got a lot of plans on Saturday. You want to be out there. If you're out on the roads, you've got to watch for high water.
Lots of tropical moisture coming into the country, even though we're not going to have any storms or hurricanes hitting the U.S. anytime soon.
But hey, we do have some stuff to talk about in the tropics. Of course, not unheard of to get storms in the late part of May.
No, and on the East Pacific side and on the Atlantic side, we've had, especially, Alex, in the last few years, we've had, in the last decade, 5 preseason named storms in the last half of May. And we might very well have that happen again out here to the east of Florida, because there is an area to watch. Now, there's nothing really going on much there now, but we have a frontal boundary and a lot of jet stream activity, and there's the potential for something to get going near Bermuda, especially as we get into early next week. And it's going to be moving from south to north and eventually northeast. The reason is that we've got an upper level trough over Florida. That's kind of the non-tropical part. That's the pool of cold air aloft. That's creating temperature differences in the atmosphere and creating this jet stream and this front. And when we look over to the visible imagery, the front is creating a little bit of low level spin coming out of the south here, around from the northeast around the Bermuda High. So you get a little low level spin. So what do the models do with this combination over marginally warm waters? Again, this is not a fully tropical kind of setup. The low-level spin is in the colors, and the traveling lines are the jet stream. Here's our upper-level low, and here is low-level spin. Look at that ramp up when we get to Monday, but it's associated with this upper-level trough. So that's why it's kind of a hybrid, Alex. You know, it runs on two kinds of fuels. The fuel from the ocean, kind of like your gasoline. The temperature differences in the atmosphere, kind of like your battery of a hybrid car. But this is going to affect Bermuda, perhaps, and then it'll be caught up by the next front. So I'm not worried about this affecting the continental U.S. And we're also, of course, watching what's going on in the East Pacific. This still has a chance to develop over the next 5 days, and it's not going to be going anywhere. And the big concern here is torrential rainfalls in Central America over the next week.
Yeah, always a problem in that part of the world. We'll be watching that story closely in the coming week. By the way, we continue to monitor our storms across the country. We will be cutting in tonight into the programming as needed to keep you ahead of that severe threat. We got a great team in place to keep you covered. For all of us here at Weather Underground, we thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. And remember, together we know more.
Tornado caught on camera earlier this evening. This was 7 miles northwest of McCook in Nebraska, and this is the threat that we're going to be facing tonight. You can see that debris being kicked up there, funnel on the right-hand side of the camera. There's going to be an ongoing tornado threat through tonight. Let's take a look at the warnings right now. And there is a tornado warning right now in south central parts of Nebraska. Let's take a look as we go to 54 here, south of North Platte. What we're looking at is a tornado warning right now south of Interstate 80. That is Frontier County under warning right now until 7:30, and then to the north of that into that Interstate 80 corridor. Dawson County under warning until 7:45, and there is the severe threat for tonight. More coming up through the night.